All right, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the economics around our student operating system and how it saves us money in our business. So let's dive right into it. So in terms of the economics here, think of the standard workflow for a photographer. You are paper clipping, gluing multiple tools together. You may have an admin assistant. You may have a sales subscription for one aspect of your business. You may have an email marketing tool for another. And I've been there. I've seen we use Zendesk for as our CRM. We use MailChimp for email. We have an accounting software, QuickBooks. Like we have all these different SaaS tools and like none of them speak to each other. And that's the core problem of what I realize is happening here, where you're getting just paper cut by all these different subscriptions. And as a business owner, if your goal is for you to operate autonomously and automatically, none of these systems speak to each other. And so in the new age of AI, what we did in our business was we found a way to completely just gut all that stuff out of our business and instead build it from the ground up. That's more custom tailored to the everyday photographer and videographer company out there or studio out there. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the economics look like, how you save money with the system. And if you guys are interested in this, let me know, leave a comment and a like below. So that way I know that this is something that's interesting to you guys. So if you're a solo business owner, if you run a photography studio, if you run a videography studio, this is going to be interesting to you. So let's dive right into that. So in terms of the actual like economics here, there are a couple of different aspects of this. One is if you've got a lot of clients you're managing, you have emails that need to go out, you need invoices that need following up on, you need photos that need editing, you need videos that need editing. There's all these different tools out there that completely will gut you if you're not smart about your finances, and that can include a couple of different things. So one could be an admin assistant. We used to hire admin assistants, and we used to pay them $200 a month because we were doing like probably 50, 60, 70 events a year and trying to manage all those clients between where they are in their journeys. Let's say like the client journey, you may have, your summer coming up and you may have like 10, 15 clients that you need to reach out to. And then on the back end of that, you have clients from last year that you've already delivered. So like depending on where you are in the journey, where every client is, you would need to figure out how you can manage the relationships you have there, because those clients are going to help you refer you to future clients. And if they don't have a good experience with your studio, they're moving on to the next studio. CRM subscriptions, so just tracking, and this could be like your sales. This could be leads that you need to follow up on. You may pay like something like $80 a month for that. You may use email marketing tools like MailChimp, another $50 a month. And the way that they get you is they want to have the more contacts you have in your MailChimp list, they'll charge you for that, which again another cost. Accounting software, so this is like your QuickBooks. This is like Xero, whatever you guys may use for accounting. That's another subscription. So you're paying just to maintain balances. You may need review management, Trustpilot, any one of these tools to like follow up on reviews. And the problem is like none of these tools actually talk to each other. Like these are all like paper clipped together. Maybe you use Zapier to try to pull these different things together, but individually they're designed to kind of just focus on one thing. And some of the integrations would require you to have to build this out yourself, which we tried that. It worked for a period of time, but you realize that it's not robust enough of a process. And then figure out your photo culling time. So this is how much your time you're spending on going through 3, 4, 5,000 photos per event, figuring out which ones you keep. And if you value your time, let's say you could be out there shooting for $75 an hour and you do 4 shoots and you're spending 8 hours going through photo culling. I mean, you're basically like not enabling yourself to make $2,400 a month. So your time is valuable here. Your time, and if your time could be better spent selling or shooting, then this becomes a cost that you may not necessarily see like draw from your bank account, but it's a cost that's really real because it's opportunity cost. You could be going out and selling. You could be going out and shooting more. And so if you don't understand this concept of opportunity cost in your business, it's a hidden cost that is a real drain on your finances. And look, we've been there. This is everything that we were doing previously. And in total, like roughly $4,000 a month. And how much time we were spending on just manual follow-ups, reacting to client messages. We were not doing this in an intelligent way that would allow us to even like consider being able to be proactive and do marketing and do all these different things that would grow our business. So that's obviously the downside there. But fortunately for us, what we did was we decided to take a different approach. We said, let's cut all the subscriptions. Let's get into the actual like nuts and bolts of what we need. We need a better infrastructure. And instead of like gluing all these different tools together, we're like, let's build it from the ground up. And this is a tool that we've created ourselves. They're code bases. They operate fully autonomously. They are AI native. So it's an AI first approach to an everyday problem in the photography and videography space. And that involves a couple different domains here, and I'll go through them. N8N is a workflow tool. All that really does is it strings together a process. So anything that's very repeatable, hey, follow up with a lead. Reach out to someone that reached out on our website. Let's send an invoice to the client. Like all these different things are repeatable in nature. And so N8N helps us string these different things together repeatedly. So these are repetitive workflows, deterministic, A, then B, then C, then D. That's what N8N does for us. And there's no cost to this because these are workflows that you can run on your own computer. N8N is a open source tool. What open source basically means is you basically go onto GitHub, you download the code base, you run it on your computer. You can build the workflows through a user interface. It's really intuitive. It may not be so intuitive. It's a little technical. But once you do that, you can just run on your PC. And that doesn't cost you anything, which is why I've got 0 here. Supabase. Now, databases are the most critical function of any system that operates like this. Databases are basically tables, but that operate in the cloud, because what you do there is you may have like your client emails, you may have client information, what venues that they had their event at, if you have any type of lead lists. Supabase is really critical for all these different processes in your business because it maintains all the data in your business. And the data is the foundation of everything. So if you don't have data today on who booked you, why they booked you, where they came from, how much you charged, what service you provided, when you delivered, like all these different elements are really key because they allow you to gain insight into what's actually working. If you're like finger in the air and let me just I think I get leads from here, but I may not really be able to draw the map or draw the conclusions of what's working in my business, then you're going to continue to do things in a way that doesn't actually like serve you. It doesn't actually lead you to more money. You're just going to hypothetically have a gut feel. And I'm sorry, but gut feels don't actually work all the time because you may feel good one day and the next day you may not. And what's limited is our energy and our mental capacity. So where you have data, it's very fact-based. You can't make it up. The data is the data. And so Supabase as a database tool does have free tiers depending on how much data you're collecting. I mean, the next tier up is like $25 a month max. But if you're just getting started, Supabase is something I recommend. Gemini AI. So Gemini is basically Google's AI tool. What they do is they can read pictures and they can read video now too. Gemini 3.1 Pro is the latest model that's available now through an API. An API basically is a way your system can talk to its system. You basically feed it a bunch of pictures. You say, hey, I'm a wedding photographer. I want you to pick out the best, call it 50% of these pictures, and tell me which ones to keep, which ones to discard. That's it. It really is that simple because you can talk to these AI agents now, and Gemini is one of those agents that is multi-model. What that basically means is you can speak in text and tell it what you want, and it'll give you an outcome after reading the picture. So it's able to translate text to visuals, and it's really good at being able to parse your feedback and understand your intent, and then look at your pictures and determine, based on your intent, what pictures should be kept from that set. So this becomes really powerful in terms of a culling tool. You could use it for video processing too. But I have $12 a month here because it's dirt cheap. You can feed it like thousands of pictures for like pennies. It's absolutely crazy. And even $12 a month might be overstating this. Google Cloud Run. This is probably where there's the most cost because when you're actually processing pictures, processing culling or video, this is where it gets compute heavy. Cloud Run is basically Google's cloud infrastructure that needs to use chips. I don't know how else to say it. Like you need to use chips, you need to use compute power. So basically in your computer, you may have a processor. That is what they're charging for on a minute by minute basis. And so Cloud Run, the way it works is when you have a workload could be processing a video, processing a photo, that will then charge you based on every minute you're using it. So it's a pay as you go type of relationship you have there with Google. That's where we spend most amount of our time because we have the logic built within code, and that code sits on Google's servers. And when Google processes that code, it's charging you for runtime, which is what this cost is. Slack, I don't pay anything for Slack. This is basically $0 a month. This is where it just literally will, I'm sending a message to a bot, and I'll even show you guys maybe in another video. I don't even book anything anymore. Like I just put into my chat bot in Slack and I say, hey, this is the client, this is the date, here's how much, send me the invoice. And my Slack bot is actually going to respond to me and say, okay, you forgot to tell me what time the event ends or what kind of event is it. And it'll even remind me on some things I didn't give it. And so that way I don't need to sit here anymore and like create a package, email it to the client. Like my agent does all of that. And also it's in my brand voice too. So when the client gets it, they don't know if it came from me or if it came from my Slack agent, which is really why I use Slack as an interface. I don't need to sit at my desk anymore and like create all these proposals manually. I give it to my agent. My agent goes off and does it, and I book the client without having to even like get involved. Domain and hosting. So our website is rajflorvideo.com. So we recently went through a whole redesign. So we pay, and honestly, like websites are not really, I mean, we spent a lot of money on this, and I'm starting to think now that like as this world becomes more agentic in nature, people are just really focused on social media. We could do better at that, yes, but domain and hosting, if you're a reputable studio, you need to have a website, I think. Still, just to prove that your company is real, it's real tangible. Domain and hosting, $20 a month is really cheap. So as you can see here, like between what I was spending on the left side of the screen, close to $4,000 a month. Yes, this is subscriptions. Yes, this is my time, 5 hours a week. And again, I work a daytime job too. So I've got 40 hours I'm doing my daytime work. And then the other 25 is like all my free time where I am not able to, go out and like spend time with my friends or my family because I'm sitting behind the computer trying to manage all this, to now I maybe get involved a couple hours here and there. And that's really just for oversight. If I need to like hop in and get involved in something, I do. But for the most part, this is fully autonomous. It is not something I get involved with unless I book a client. Obviously, I speak on the phone. That's where these 2-3 hours comes in. I'm speaking to a client on the phone. I'll book them. I'll give it off to my Slack agent. I'll go. And then everything else from there is 100% automated. Yeah, if I need to shoot, I'll send out one of my guys to go out and shoot. And if you want to be able to leverage a system like this for your own business, leave a comment or a like below because I'm looking to see if I can kind of offer this type of service to other photographers. So if you want to work smarter, not harder in your business, preparing your photography studio and videography studio for the age of AI in 2026 and beyond, let me know in the comments below. I'm looking for some hustlers that want to work smarter. And so this system here 100% saves me a ton of time and money, and maybe my cost has gone down to like $67, and that's really conservative in terms of cost. So now effectively what I've done is I've increased my ROI, my margins in my business by saving close to maybe $3,800 a month, which is $45,000 a year in opportunity cost and actual physical like money, financials. That is huge. And I'm not locked into any vendors as well. I'm not locked into MailChimp. If MailChimp decides to raise their price next day, or QuickBooks, which has happened in the past, don't mind you, you don't have any control over that. Your whole business is now running off of someone's whim of, hey, prices have gone up, costs have gone up, and you're the one that's bearing the brunt of that. So a system like this allows you to save time, save money, you own the stack. And if you're interested in something like this, let me know, leave a like and comment, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.